Everybody in life has their own path, and each path is unique. My path was full of sorrow, frustration, and emptiness. I lived in Siberia, in Novokuznetsk city. When I was in the 3rd grade, our class master announced that Americans were coming to visit our school. And I still remember my feelings and emotions in that moment. I just said, "Wow, Americans." To my surprise, the Americans turned out to be just like us. They are no different. When they finished, they presented everyone with a small gift, a book of hope. I remember being very happy. All the children were happy. We showed each other the gifts they presented to us. And a bit later, I figured out that it was a children's Bible. When I was reading the story, it was at that time that I realized that God exists. However, it seemed to me that God was far away from me. When I was 10 years old, my mom and dad made the decision to separate, and they got divorced. For me, that was probably the biggest trauma of all my life. After the divorce, my mother started to drink alcohol, and I witnessed how her life was going down, and me together with her. One time I came back from school and my mother beat me badly. She suddenly stopped and left the room. I stood up and ran into another room to write a note that I cannot live like that anymore. I wrote the note. I gathered my personal belongings into the bag. I thought either I escape from here or I am going to die right now. Then I turned quickly. I saw my mother running at me with a 3-liter jar in her hands. I think it was God who made me look back. I caught her hand as she was trying to strike me and made her release the jar. I escaped from home that night. When I escaped, I called my father. I did not know where else I could go, being just 12 years old. The woman he lived with answered the call and said, "No one needs you in this life, not even your father or mother. Maybe you should just take your life. That way you will help everyone." Then a woman approached me that night and she said to me that she just wanted to help me get home. Then she took me to my grandparents' house. They decided to let me live with them for 1 year. I realized that my parents didn't care about me, and that there was a strong feeling of unforgiveness deep inside my heart. I regularly had thoughts about committing suicide, to pass from this life. When I turned 16, I graduated from school and entered university. By that time, I could already stand up for myself. My heart was so fierce that I could easily push back. I was no longer afraid of my mother. The fear disappeared. Our relative, she told me that she always prayed for us and that she had confessed in the 90s. And she told my mom about Jesus. She said, "Natasha, if you won't repent, if you won't come to church, you will die and your children will die too. Your children will have a far worse life than yours." After that, something happened in my mother's heart. Perhaps she just heard that someone loves her, or maybe that was the only option for her. That Sunday, we went to church with my younger brother. I remember from the Book of Hope that there is a God and that Jesus died on the cross. Then, at church, I experienced God's love. I've never felt like that in my entire life. I've never experienced so much love. God began to heal my heart, and God started to heal us, our relationships, our hearts. and healed my mom from alcohol. 16 years ago, someone sowed the seed inside me, that word, that book of hope. That book gave me hope. And today I'm very thankful to those people, and that God lives inside my heart, and I know about Him.